Hello PoKeys users! In this video tutorial we are going to take a first look at the PoKeys software. PoKeys software consists of two packages: PoKeys configuration and testing software and PoBlocks graphical programming software. At startup, PoKeys configuration software displays a device selection window. If we had more devices plugged in, this would be listed here. This application is used to configure PoKeys devices and upgrade the firmware. The user interface is pretty straightforward. It consists of standard menu, input-output setup interface, and status line. In the File menu, we can create new configuration, save them for future use, or open old ones. We can edit macros and disconnect currently attached PoKeys device. The Peripherals menu is the main menu to configure and test the sensors, actuators, and other devices connected to the PoKeys device. In order to increase the number of inputs for the purpose of user input, you can connect Matrix keyboard to PoKeys. Maximum supported size is 16 rows by 8 columns, with the option to duplicate keys available using the alternate option for each key. For visual output purposes, you can use HD 44780 or compatible LCD display with maximum size 4 rows by 20 columns. You can get those in various sizes and colors. When you're out of outputs, you can connect our extension boards using PoXBus connector. Here you can test whether all outputs and attached devices are functioning correctly. The extension bus also supports PoNet devices, such as our special CNC keyboard. You can test them here. PoKeys device supports various analog and digital sensors such as I2C and one wire. You can test them in the bus test menu. Each standard PoKeys device has 55 terminal connections. Each of them can be assigned as digital input or digital output. You can test inputs and outputs using this practical interface. PoKeys devices have 7 analog inputs for connecting analog sensors, potentiometers, level meters, and similar analog devices. They are capable of measuring voltages varying from 0 to 3.3 volts in 12-bit resolution, values between 0 and 4095. Analog filter is also available with adjustable time constant. You can connect up to 6 actuators to the pulse width modulation outputs with adjustable period and duty cycle times. Quadrature encoder switches are also supported. Here you can test how they work. PoKeys receives and displays the encoder position and measures how fast it is being rotated. For faster application requirements, you can use fast and ultra-fast encoders feature. To set up specific input as a counter or an encoder, configure the pin as digital input and find further settings under Encoders and Counters tab. To configure joystick, go to Joystick Mapping. Here you can fine-tune your joystick to use it with a Windows environment or real-world physical computing projects. You can connect up to 26 sensors to PoKeys 56, 10 on I2C bus, 10 on one wire bus, and 6 analog sensors. You can set, test and read them here. PoKeys also supports fail-safe settings where default output values can be configured. On device startup and in case of communication timeout, outputs are set to predefined safe values that can be used to disable external loads controlled by the PoKeys device. Each digital input or output pin voltage level can be inverted, logical 0 and 1 are swapped, by enabling the invert option. Device load status displays the current system load of the PoKeys device. By default, device starts up with all pins set as inputs. To override this setting and allow the device to use the saved pin configuration, enable the option Initialized outputs on startup and define the default values for the outputs. Some applications may require faster connection with the USB PoKeys device. This can be enabled by selecting the option Fast USB Interface. Note, however, that this requires the PoKeys device drivers to be installed on your system by running the PoKeys setup with USB device driver option selected. You can send configuration to the PoKeys device through menu command F9 or this button. In case of problems, our support staff may ask you to send us system log to help us diagnose the problem. It is available here. When software detects that there is newer firmware available for your device, it will prompt you to upgrade the firmware while connecting to the device. However, upgrade can also be started manually by selecting Upgrade Firmware option as we are showing here. This can be used to either upgrade or downgrade the PoKeys firmware. In order to restore the device to factory defaults, select option Clear Settings in the device. Every device has a unique serial number, so you can differentiate among multiple PoKeys connected to your PC. Each PoKeys can also be assigned with a costume name and user ID number. Due to device driver limitations in Windows, costume joystick name is shared amongst all devices in the PoKeys family. This can be overcome by changing the product identification number of the device, but may break compatibility with other third-party applications using PoKeys devices. The About command shows you device type, serial number, firmware version, user ID, lock status, and MAC address for Ethernet device only. The PoIL status command shows you whether our custom programmable core has been enabled. If enabled, values of shared data memory slot can be quickly accessed. More on both in the following videos. Last but not least, the Pulse engine. The PoKeys can also be used as a motion controller for CNC machines, and up to 8 axes are supported. We will go further into this subject in one of the following PoKeys episodes. There, we took a first look at the PoKeys configuration software. Here you can test and set up commonly used peripherals. To learn more about this powerful device, stay with us in the following videos.